Hey, welcome to this week's video. This is the fifth and final video of a series I've been doing on covering the basics of plant-based eating for you. We have talked about what plant-based eating is. We have talked about 3 reasons why you might want to go whole food plant-based. And today we're going to be talking about what does this even look like? How do I eat plant-based? So I want to introduce the 5 food groups, help give you a few ways to kind of reimagine what a plate, what a meal might look like. And then I want to give you a sneak peek into the recipe book that I wrote a few years ago. And really just as a illustration of the types of meals that could fit with whole food plant-based eating, which I know at first when you're switching from normal food to plant-based food, it feels very alien. It feels very strange. So I want to just normalize that for you today. And these happen to be the 4 weeks of plant-based meals that I transitioned my own family with. So I'm excited to just give you a sneak peek and talk about some principles of plant-based eating with you today. So if this is your first time seeing me or my videos, welcome. My name is Danielle Dinkleman. I'm a national board certified health and wellness coach. I am the author of the book, If Diets Don't Work, What Does, as well as the Healthier Home Family Meal Plan. Both are available on Amazon. I've been coaching for about four and a half years now, and it is such a joyful process to help people improve their health with habits and with sustainable steps. So let's talk about how to eat plant-based. Let's talk about the 5 food groups. Now, I don't know about you, everyone kind of grows up in different eras. And in my era, it was all about the food pyramid, okay? And I don't even know how many food groups were on that, but I think it was more than 5. So it's helpful for me to have a new construct as I go into plant-based eating, and I find it really helpful for my clients as well. So 5 food groups I want you to reimagine for yourself are fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds. Okay, those are the 5 food groups. You can look this up. You can do some research on this. I go into this in depth in the food chapter of my book. And, if you don't know what any of those things are, definitely, drop some comments here or reach out to me and we can chat. Legumes is kind of one of the trickier ones. I know when I first thought that word, I thought, I don't really know exactly what that means. It just means lentils and beans. It also includes chickpeas or garbanzo beans. Tofu is from soybean, which is a legume. So understanding those. When we talk about whole grains, we aren't necessarily talking about grain products. That moves more into the processed food. And remember, we're talking about this whole food plant-based approach to nutrition. So we definitely want to be thinking, okay, what are the intact whole grains that I could be including in my diet? Oats is a great one. And brown rice is the other. Those are definitely the 2 staples in my house. A lot of people really enjoy quinoa and other grains too, but those are some basics that you can start with. So once we understand the 5 food groups, then we can start piecing meals together. Now, I want you to understand really quickly of how to eat plant-based. Notice that there's 5 food groups. There's not just fruits and vegetables, okay? It's really important to be including the legumes, the whole grains, and the nuts and seeds. That's gonna round out your nutrition overall. You're gonna be getting enough protein as long as you are eating to fullness and you're eating enough calories to sustain yourself. Be mindful when you switch to plant-based eating. If you feel lightheaded, weak, lethargic, when you make this change, it might be because you're actually not eating enough. Whole food plant-based is a very low calorie way to be eating. So be mindful of generally how many calories you need in a day. Listen to your hunger. If you ate 3 square meals to fullness and then you're hungry an hour later each time, eat again, or see if you can eat more at mealtime, or see if you can increase the calorie density by including some nuts and seeds, some coconut, some avocado, olives, those high calorie plant-based foods, or just making sure that you've definitely got some grains and some beans happening in each of your meals. Okay, so there's some basics for you to consider. I have lots of workshops on this. If you want more information, definitely reach out to me on danielledinkleman.com and we can chat some more. Okay, I want to introduce you to plant-based eating, what this could look like for your family. So in my meal plan, I really like organizing it by categories. I think it's kind of a fun way to think about it. So I kind of have outlined this for you guys here, and I'm just going to read this to you that in this meal plan, Mondays are soup days. Okay, soups are fantastic and easy to find plant-based recipes for soups. Tuesday is Mexican night. So Mexican foods, rice, beans, tortillas, this sort of thing is super, super easy. I always like to have a leftover day fit into my week. So Wednesdays are leftovers. Thursdays are the Asian recipes. Fridays are pastas. Saturday is breakfast for dinner. Yes, it's possible to have plant-based French toast, plant-based waffles, pancakes. And then of course, the mighty potato can come in on breakfast for dinner. And then Sunday is kind of a mixture of meals that maybe take a little bit more time to prepare. They're usually rice or potato based and they're a little fancier. So I'm going to walk you through what the meals are in this book, more than anything, just to give you an idea of what's possible with plant-based eating and how you would put these meals together. Okay. So remember, as we go through these recipes, be mindful and watch out for the 5 food groups. So again, they are fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, and nuts and seeds. Okay. The starches are the foods that are going to keep you the fullest, the longest. They're also where we get a little bit more of our calorie density. We want to make sure every meal has a starch. Okay. Starch is your starchy vegetables like potatoes and sweet potatoes, corn, squash, that sort of thing. Your grains and your legumes are other starches. So rice and beans are great. Oats, these sorts of things. Okay, so let's dive in. I have 4 weeks of meals here. The soups are crock-pot minestrone, vegetable barley soup, chickpea noodle soup, and there is a chili that goes with a chili potato bar. So these are all really easy to turn into plant-based soups, okay? You notice the play on chicken noodle soup. We just replaced the chicken with chickpeas. Chickpea is a legume. They look like little white spheres, like little tiny balls. And another word for chickpeas is garbanzo beans. So those are synonymous. They mean the same thing. I use chickpeas to replace a lot of meat-based meals, and chickpea noodle soup is a good example of that. So with each of those soups, if you're making soup a meal, you definitely want to make sure it has a grain or a bean or both in the soup, which is true for all 4 of these soups. And definitely serve it with a side salad or some steamed vegetables, maybe some whole grain bread if you'd like. Soups are great options for plant-based eating. Okay, I'm going to try to not go too long on this video for you guys. Let's talk about Mexican recipes. I've got some fun names in here. Tracy Tacos, shout out to my mom. Mexican pizzas, veggie pinto fajitas, and homemade crunch wraps. So my favorite, the thing that we eat the most of in this house is the Tracy Tacos. It's a really, really simple adaptation of the taco mix that I grew up with, which is why we call these Tracy Tacos after my mom. And we use a homemade taco seasoning. And we basically take cooked brown rice and some canned black beans, mix it in with the seasonings, a little bit of water, and you have a delicious, flavorful, very filling taco mix. You can use it for any style of taco. You could use it for burritos, enchiladas. I mean, it's very, very versatile. We throw it on tortilla chips and make a homemade plant-based nacho sauce, and we have nachos. In fact, that's what we're having tonight. So you can have a lot of fun with this, okay? Let's talk about the Asian meals that are in the meal plan here. Coconut curry, vegetable stir fry, simple pad thai, and happy haystacks. Shout out to my dear Hawaiian friends that said Hawaiian haystacks are not a thing. So we called it happy haystacks. All right, these are fantastic rice-based or noodle-based dishes. They've got flavorful sauces, and it lets you just go crazy with varieties of veggies Or you can keep it really simple and stay close to home in your comfort zone of whatever veggies you like. Okay, so those are great options. Are you starting to see what plant-based eating can look like and how you could go about doing this? It's not as hard as you think. And this is like not super weird food, right? It's just food. I hope you're starting to catch the vision on this a little. Okay, let's go to our pasta night, pasta/Italian. The first week is personal pizzas. The next one is creamy Alfredo. Then we've got my favorite spaghetti and a creamy basil pesto. This one, oh man, the personal pizzas, I just buy whole wheat pita bread at the store and I put a delicious pizza sauce on. I make a faux Parmesan with nutritional yeast and cashews and some seasonings. And then I load it with veggies, especially some toppings like, in addition to veggies, pineapple, olive, and mushroom. I feel like if I have those 3 toppings on a pizza, I don't even miss the cheese. Okay, but yeah, these sauces that we have, the Alfredo and the spaghetti, it's completely plant-based. It's really cool. You get to see how you can use different ingredients to create creamy sauces. It's pretty amazing. Okay, the breakfast for dinner meals are loaded hash browns, banana pancakes, French toast, and breakfast burritos. Okay, pretty straight ahead stuff. The loaded hash browns, that is what I call my cop-out meal. If I need something quick and easy, I will throw some frozen hash browns in the electric frying pan. I'll load it with whatever veggies I've got on hand, usually some onion and some bell pepper. And then I'll serve it with one of my favorite smoothies to get some veggies or some greens and some fruits in there. And it's a really simple meal. You can eat as little or as much of it as you like. It's a crowd pleaser and it's easy to put together. So can you see how you can kind of reinvent your plate? I know we kind of obsess over, well, every meal needs to have protein. Every meal should have meat. No, you don't need it. You're going to be just fine, especially if you're eating from all 5 food groups throughout the day. You are going to be just fine. All right. The last category, and then we're going to call it a day with this video. I hope this is helpful. Here's the more involved meals that take closer to an hour or so to prepare. Everything else in these recipes are 20 to 30 minutes to throw together. It's really great. So week number 1 is a rice pilaf. Week number 2 is a mashed potatoes and gravy. Week number 3 is creamy potatoes, kind of a funeral potato style dish, if you're familiar with that. And week number 4 is a lentil loaf. Now, these are delicious and all of those make really good substitutions when you're working on holiday meals, which we are just finishing up the holidays here in the United States. And it's great to see what's possible with plant-based ingredients. So you can get a copy of this on my website, danielledinkleman.com. You can get a digital copy on my website. If you want a printed copy, unfortunately it won't be spiral bound for you, but you can get that on Amazon. Just search my name on Amazon and you will see it. I hope that's helpful. Let me know what questions you have. You can reach out to me. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. I would love to hear from you. Let me know if this was helpful, and good luck on your plant-based journey. Please remember to do it sustainably, meaning small and simple steps. Okay, slow and steady wins the race on this. If you make it a diet, you can still create a yo-yo effect with this. So if you need some help making it more doable and enjoyable along the way, that's where my other book really comes in handy, or reach out to me for some more information on my coaching programs. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day and good luck in your plant-based journey. Until we see you next time, take care.